In other news, the 4 arrests made yesterday involving the Roy Schneider Hospital officials are still a hot topic in the territory. News Channel 8's Lee Carl has the details.
Our report yesterday was that letters had been sent to 4 persons, hospital officials, that were hit with criminal charges on the investigation from the Inspector General from the United States and the local Inspector General. And now it is a fact. The criminal charges against the former hospital officials, charges against Rodney Miller Sr., Amos Carty Jr., and Peter Najewicz, including charges against the chairman of the board, Ms. June Adams. The former Snyder Regional Medical Center officials were arrested Tuesday on criminal charges related to conspiring, lying, and taking hospital money for themselves. Once again, the defendants are June Adams, Rodney Miller Sr., Amos Carty, and Peter Najewicz. They appeared in Superior Court today for their advice of rights hearings, while Miller and Carty and Najewicz already have been hit with prosecutorial motions to freeze their assets. Adams, the former Snyder Regional Medical Center Governing Board chairman, had not been named in the previous court actions arising from an investigative report published in the Daily News, you may recall, back in July 28th, from a joint audit by the Territorial and Inspector General's offices published July 29th. But Ms. Adams was arrested yesterday by Nicholas Peru, the special investigator with the VI Inspector General's office, on charges of making fraudulent claims against the government, embezzlement from public accounts, embezzlement by fiduciaries, embezzlement by public and private officers, conversion of government property, conspiracy, perjury, and violating what is called the Criminal Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Her bail was set at $50,000. Now, the other 3 charged against Miller, the former Snyder Regional Chief Executive Officer, Carty, the former CEO, who succeeded him, and Najewicz, the former Chief Financial Officer, CFO as it's called, including obtaining money under false pretenses, making fraudulent claims, embezzlement, falsification of public accounts, and so on, even grand larceny and conspiracy. Like the former board chairman, Adams, the 3 former executives who were charged with racketeering by violating the VI Criminally Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, better known as CICO. That act is designed to curtail criminal activity and lessen its economic and political power in the territory. The bail at the time for the arrest yesterday was set at $250,000 each for Miller and Carty and Najewicz. So yesterday, the 3 men, flanked by their friends, family, and attorneys, of course, showed up for the hearing, and Adams was not a part of the hearing on Tuesday. As soon as the marshal opened the courtroom door, people waiting in the hallway filed into the courtroom. The judge, by the way, had a gag order on all of the information regarding the trial and closed the hearing to the public, and didn't want to explain at that point. Court documents were not available. The Superior Court clerk said the judge would not allow the public viewing of the filings until after the hearing scheduled for today. Soon after the public had been barred from the hearing, Najewicz and his attorney left. Carty declined to comment. Miller, who had not been arrested on the new charges, remained behind the locked courtroom doors. And the attorneys for Miller said they were not allowed to comment either, because the judge had put what was called a gag order on the case. The gag order is a court-closed order barring parties from commenting publicly on the case. Now, Miller stood silently next to his attorney. Minutes later, Miller walked out of the courtroom, down the steps. He strode into the police station, trailed by Peru, placed under arrest, and left with his attorneys a short time later. The Daily News investigative report, you may recall, did publish July 28th and exposed Miller's criminal background at the time in a Navy brig, his bad conduct discharge from the Navy, and also falsifying information to the VI government for his job application. VI Inspector General and the U.S. Department of Interior Inspector General released the day after the Daily News report covered the period from 2002 to 2007. So it's now a fact, after the letters were given and now the arrests have been made. The Miller was the chief executive officer, as you may recall, of the Snyder Regional Hospital from May 2007 to November 2007. That's 2002 to 2007. Carty, the attorney, held several positions as legal counsel and Miller appointed him Chief Operating Officer. Miller hired Najewicz, the Chief Financial Officer, in April of 2004. He held the position until September 5th, when the Territorial Hospital Board instructed interim CEO Elizabeth Harris to fire him or allow him to resign. So now the charges for both Miller, Carty, and Najewicz list like this: obtaining money by false pretenses, making fraudulent claims upon the government, embezzlement, falsification of public accounts, embezzlement of fiduciaries or by fiduciaries, conversion of government property, embezzlement on public and private officers, grand larceny, conspiracy, and violating the Criminally Influenced Corrupt Organization Act. And of course, you heard those charges already against June Adams. We'll have to wait and see how it fleshes out in the court today on this rather large and big story about former hospital officials hit with criminal charges and arrested. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl, News Channel 8.
We'll be right back with more news after these messages. For Wednesday, we have a cute little dog up for adoption. Let's take a look at the St. Croix Animal Welfare Center.
Today I have Wednesday's pet, and her name is Tika. And Tika's a female puppy. She's about 3 months old, and she's available for adoption. She came in as a stray, but she's very quiet and shy. She gets playful with other animals, and when she gets to know you, so I'm sure she'd make a good addition to anybody's family. The animal shelter would also like you to know that October is National Feral Cat Awareness Month, and in celebration of that month, we have a special on cats, and instead of our usual fee of $60, the cats are $30 this month. That includes their spay and neuter surgery, it includes their vaccination and their worm out, and that's the same for puppies, but puppies and dogs are $60. If you're interested in adopting any of our dogs or cats, please call us at the animal shelter, 778-1650, or come visit us in Clifton Hill, and you can come between 12 and 5 Monday through Saturday. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.